let's talk about how to determine the position in a revenue transaction, which is this one. Let me highlight that. The first position is recording sales. So we need to credit sales and we need to credit taxes payable because we collect tax on behalf of the government, and we debit the total amount that we received in accounts receivable. That is the position 3. When we settle, we leave the 4th position blank. For the 5th position, we credit the accounts receivable by the amount that we collect from the customer or client. In the 6th position, we debit the amount of cash or any amount that comes into our bank in position 6. Okay, we need to turn on this one. Look up for the first position. This is the GLAcctNum _GL account _ R1. So the R1 indicates that it is a revenue transaction and it is in position 1. So let's take a look at the formula. It's just like the purchase transaction. If the position is 1 and the transaction type code is R, then we need to look up from bookkeeping interface for the column trans item code. This is very similar to the one in purchase transaction. So let's scroll to purchase transaction 1, right? Because we are still looking for trans item code. So what we can do is, let me drop everything from this column from the GLAcctNum _GL account _ R1. Please remember to type the column head exactly like this. Okay, so since it is very similar to the one with the purchase, we simply Ctrl+C copy and Ctrl+V paste the purchase transaction position 1. And we replace the trans type code to capital R. Enter. Let's see what we get. See this one? And we can scroll over to, because our third transaction is a sales. So we got the 8,000, the sales. Because it can be other types of sales. That's why we need a placeholder called the trans item code. Okay, let's take a look at the second position that we have is a tax payable. You notice from our previous purchase transaction example, it is also tax payable, and this time is also a tax payable. The only difference being the purchase one is on the debit side and the sales one is on the credit side. It doesn't affect the general ledger account number that we extract from the chart of account. So we simply, let's move to the credit transaction. And again, the second transaction is GLAcctNum _GL account _ R2. When we look at the formula for the R2, the position 2, if the position is 2 and it is in R, which is a revenue transaction, we look for the account number 2680, which is very similar to the one we did for the purchase transaction, except the type code is P. Let's delete everything from R2 and we can copy everything from P2, Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V, okay, to paste it to the revenue P2. So we simply replace the P with a capital R. Enter. Let's go back to transaction 3 to see if we are right. This is the one. Okay, so it's tax payable. For position 3, the accounts receivable is very similar to the one of the purchase transaction. In a purchase transaction case, we have 2620, which is the accounts payable, the AP. But for sales, we have 1060, which is accounts receivable. So let's take a look at the formula of R3. This is JE debit GL account R3. When the position equals 3 and the type equals R, revenue, we look for 1060. So let's take a look at P3. It is very similar. The position equals 3 and the type equals P, then it looks for 2620. So basically what we can do is, let me drop this thing. We can simply copy the position P3, which is this one, Ctrl C, and then we move to the revenue R3 and Ctrl V. And what we can do is replacing P, the trans type code P, with revenue R. And we replace 2620, the accounts payable, with 1060, the accounts receivable. Press enter. Okay, save it. Let's go back to see if we get it. Yes, we got 160. Let's take a break and then I'll go over the position 5 and 6 of revenue transactions.